What happens when the greatest player who ever lived steps back onto the court and a young, fearless kid who grew up worshipping him decides in that moment that hero worship has no place in a pickup gym? This is a story about one elbow, one accident, and a phone call nobody saw coming.
Ron Artest punched Jordan in the ribs.
Meta word piece. Not that guy. Ron Artest. He was wearing number 15 in the NBA, not number 23 like one basketball star called MJ, but played a style completely bereft of Michael Jordan. He was a defensive dynamo known as the Beast in the Chicago Bulls locker room. Artest embraced Bill Lambier's nastiness, Dennis Rodman's intensity, and a little bit of all-star touch with the ball. In summer 2001, reports said that he broke 2 of Jordan's ribs in a summer game in Chicago after Jordan trash-talked him. We have to time travel to the year 2001.
I've been playing with him a little bit, and he's in shape, looking real good. Of course, everybody loses a step a little bit, but Mike knows how to play the game. He can play defense. It's going to be good. I can't wait to see him play. It's definitely going to be a challenge, playing against my idol tonight.
In 2001, Ron Artest and his Bulls were only 3 seasons removed from the last of their 6 NBA titles, but it might as well be 21 or more years in the future with how far they had fallen. Without Michael Jordan and his supporting cast, Chicago endured a 13-37 record in the lockout season and started 2-26 the next year, flirting with the NBA all-time record for losses. At the 934 mark, the Bulls were no longer a threat to the NBA playoffs, and 2001 was no different. While the Bulls were losing, Ron Artest was either playing the good soldier or begging to leave the Windy City when he said, "Maybe it's me, maybe I'm bad luck, maybe they should trade me and everybody will stop being miserable." There certainly would be teams interested. The Wizards for one. Michael was a Washington Wizards, not a Bull, in those years, and clearly he liked Artest and how he played the game.
Yeah, I like Ronnie. I think he's a hard player. He comes out and tries to compete. I don't expect anything different tonight. I think he definitely didn't want anyone to come in and make a big name on him, and obviously that presents a great challenge.
Michael Jordan said, "I love Ron Artest. He's got so much intensity and such a competitive drive. One time he kicked me and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to kick you." The guy can have so much respect, but at the same time, he competes his heart out. Michael is talking about a pickup game here because he never met Artest on an NBA court. It was the time that kicked off his NBA return, summer 2001. But it wasn't about the kicking like Michael said. It was about breaking some ribs. In his time in Chicago, Jordan was running pickup games in summer 2001, just like he did every summer to prepare for his opponents in the NBA. He was coming back now as a Wizard. It's being said that Jordan was in full trash talk mode that day. He had been telling Antoine Walker of the Celtics to count on 4 losses to the Wizards next season, and he was hitting jump shots in the face of Artest and taunting Artest about his time with the Bulls and was getting personal. The story is that Artest stayed back in the lane and then when Jordan came in the next time, Artest grabbed him and slammed him to the floor. That's supposedly when the ribs were broken. Artest is also said to have thrown a punch at Jordan afterward. Word is the participants were sworn to secrecy or wouldn't be allowed back in the private gym near Jordan's West Side restaurant. Who knows if it's true, but it certainly sounds more realistic than the story Jordan has been telling. While many bought into the wild fiction about Ron Artest breaking Michael Jordan's ribs in an on-court brawl, the truth is, Artest had nothing to do with it. Now let's be clear about something. Ron Artest was not out there trying to prove a point. He wasn't trying to embarrass Michael Jordan or make a name for himself. This was his idol, his absolute hero, the reason he fell in love with the game. And when he finally gets on the court with him, finally, After all those years of dreaming about it, he doesn't ask for an autograph, he doesn't fanboy out on the sideline, he asks to guard him. He walks up and says, "I want that assignment," because in Artest's mind, that was the ultimate form of respect. That was his way of saying, "I see you, I've always seen you, and I want to show you everything you taught me." The problem, he showed him a little too well. Jordan on him, Artest shoots, nothing but air. Artest reaches in, steals it clean, he's gone, he's flying. And Jordan just plants his feet, charge, game over Ronnie. Another player with strong Chicago ties is responsible for the accidental fracture and promises to come clean at a later date. So just how does someone break 2 ribs being guarded? If Ron Artest were that strong, wouldn't the Bulls have been a little better? The hottest rumor, but Artest just denies it. But being slammed to the ground is how you can break ribs, and that is the story going around. In the case of who broke MJ's ribs, Ron Artest took the blame because he happened to be guarding Michael Jordan when the injury occurred during a West Side pickup game. He does it again, strips Jordan clean, second time. He's going up and he blows it. Wide open layup, missed. But wait, foul on the Wizards. Artest gets bailed out. The kid's running on pure adrenaline now and it is starting to show. And this is where experience beats everything. Artest is giving everything he's got. Artest fouls out, sits down, done. The greatest player alive just gave the young kid the most important lesson of his career, and he never threw a single punch to do it. It turns out Artest is innocent. Another NBA player had admitted to dealing the accidental blow, which scuttled Jordan's comeback plans. The only thing is the player wanted to remain anonymous until Jordan at least got a chance to heal. He did confirm though that Jordan was injured while chasing a loose ball. The widely circulating story that Artest became upset by some trash talk and attacked Jordan can officially be categorized as an urban legend. There isn't a word of truth to it. What probably happened was some people joked that Artest might have body slammed Jordan to the court like he did Glenn Robinson a year ago at the United Center. Once the joke was passed around 5 times, someone erroneously decided it must be true. Artest might do some crazy stuff once in a while, but he was as starstruck in Jordan's presence as any fan. Artest asked to guard Jordan during the pickup game, but he wasn't about to attack his hero at the first time he ever played against him. I am not sure what happened. I was just guarding him. I was just trying to get the position because he was posting me up. I don't even recall him stopping for a brief second. Mike probably won't show any pain. I read it in the paper and was like, man, Mike's ribs got broke. How do ribs get broke? Bulls guard Jamal Crawford was watching the game from the sideline. He didn't see what happened, but noticed that Jordan was hurt. He was hunched over a little bit, then he left. Crawford said the game featured several NBA stars. Jordan and comeback partner Charles Barkley were on the same team. Antoine Walker, Nazim Mohammed, George McLeod, and Bulls guard AJ Gayton were also on the court. Artest said no one invited him to the gym. He just heard about the games and decided to check it out. Tim Grover, Jordan's personal trainer, runs everything, so whoever wants to play is going to play. I wasn't even ready to play. I was in sneakers, no socks, sweatpants, and a t-shirt, and Tim Grover said, "Are you ready to play?" I just said, "Yeah, I'm ready." When the next game was about to start, Jordan was being guarded by the former Illinois swingman Serge McClain, but Artest wanted the ultimate defensive assignment and asked for a switch. That is what I like to do, play defense. He went by me the first time. He must have played like 4 or 5 games and I had just gotten there. He hit like 2 jumpers dead in my face. He can play. Washington Wizards coach Doug Collins announced during an NBA Finals broadcast that Jordan was posting up when he took a shot to the ribs.
He gives them 29 points the other night. He's a very tough defensive player. He's going to be a tough matchup for Michael. Those kind of players are strong. Ron Artest knows Michael. They played against each other a lot in the summer.
Most of our guys have had a chance to play against in the summer. So I think that they feel comfortable guarding him.
MJ remained quiet about the injury. Artest said, Mike knows what happened. Maybe it was me, but somebody said, AJ, I don't even know what happened. If anything, it probably was me. I want to find out too. Michael's agent, David Falk, heard the New York newspaper was planning to write Jordan was faking the injury to increase his bargaining power with the Wizards owner, Abe Palin. Pure garbage, Jordan said. Rumors were also flying that Jordan was exaggerating the injury to give himself an out. Had he realized that 38-year-old who hadn't played for 3 years would be embarrassed by 2001's superstars? No way, believe me, I'll be man enough to tell you if I think I can't. But he obviously thought he could. That is why Charles Barkley had been playing refereed games with and against many members of the Bulls at Hoops the Gym, not far from the United Center, the house that he built. Bulls insiders say general manager Jerry Krause so resented his players playing with Jordan that he complained to Jordan about it. Yet Krause should be thankful. Maybe they would learn something. While Jordan never forgot the way Krause helped run coach Phil Jackson and in turn Jordan out of town, it was also obvious how much warmth Jordan had for anyone who wore the uniform he made famous. AJ Guyton, Jake Washkull, ex-DePaul Blue Demon Bobby Simmons. The opposition featured Bulls forwards Ron Artest and Marcus Fizer and Bulls guard Jamal Crawford, Celtics forward and Chicago native Antoine Walker. The full story, the accurate one, will be revealed someday. And here's how this story ends. After the pickup game, Ron Artest went home, locked himself in, didn't leave for 2 days, sitting there with a bottle of Hennessy, convinced he had just ended the greatest comeback in NBA history and destroyed his relationship with his hero in the process. Then the phone rang. He picks up. Can I speak to Ron? Who's this? It's MJ. And Jordan just says, don't worry about it, young fella. Things happen. That's it. No anger, no blame, just respect from one competitor to another. Artest called it one of the greatest phone calls of his life. And honestly, that tells you everything you need to know about both of these guys.